I am 40, an age I thought I would never reach. When you have young parents, your entire sense of age is just skewed. My mom was 15 when I was born. My dad was 17. So for me, 23 was ancient, because your parents are always old. I spent most of my young life thinking when I was 23, I'm going to be married, have kids, and I'm going to have life figured out like my parents. And now, I am 40. About May, that really hit me. Looking towards the horizon, seeing August 28th coming, and thinking back upon my life and all I have not accomplished yet. I am 40, and I am still alone, and I'm not married. Don't have very much even experience having a committed relationship. I am 40, and I'm broke. I live paycheck to paycheck. My retirement plan is the Matrix. Really hoping those robots take over soon. Remember, the first Matrix was a paradise. And I am 40. Not only am I not living my dream as a motivational speaker, life coach, I am barely making it as a software tester. So in May, I decided I don't want to think this way. This is silly. Just turning an age. And I went to this wonderful event that I go to generally every month. It is a cacao ceremony sound bath, where you drink ceremonial chocolate and you listen to this lady play these crystal healing bowls. And you just sit back and relax and meditate. And I asked myself, how can I be fine with turning 40? That's the intention I set when I laid down for that meditation. Then my mind brought me back to a year and a half ago, when I was also feeling sorry for myself. See, at this time was one of my lowest points in my life. I just got finished declaring bankruptcy because, again, not making it as a life coach, put way too much money than putting in. And didn't help that I just, on the Friday before that Monday, got fired for the second time that year. Well, let go. But it was fired. And then Trump was elected president. I felt so low, but I just asked myself, how did I get there? And the answer was simple. I let my anxieties take over my life. And I made the decision right then that my outside reality was not going to affect my inner reality, and I was going to determine to figure out how that was. And here I am, freaking out about turning 40. And then the words came into my head. Heart. Live from your heart. When you live from your heart, nothing really bothers you. Because when you're heart-centric and heart-focused, there is nothing you can't handle. And I know it can be difficult, but one of my favorite sayings is by Viktor Frankl. Between stimulus and response, there is space. And within that space, there is choice. And in choice, that lies all the freedom. And this guy survived the Holocaust. I can survive being 40. So at that moment, everything started to shift. Instead of focusing on what I don't have, started focusing on what I do have. Started focusing on the wonderful relationships I have in my life. I started focusing on my friends and my family. Started focusing on the fact that before I was 26, before I made the choice to change my life and become a happier and joyous person, that I was able to do simple things that I never thought possible. Like stand in front of an audience and talk and like it. Or just have a simple conversation with a human being, especially if they're female. And just have this feeling of self-worth that I'd never had before. And the more I start building on living from my heart, the more turning 40 is a blessing. The more becoming older, wiser, feels good in my heart. So I'd like you to think about your life. Is there anything in your life that's bothering you? Are you not where you like to be? I'd like you to imagine all your trials and tribulations coming from your heart. Because in your heart, you don't have problems, you have opportunities. When you're in your heart, nothing will stand in your way because you have a choice to love it or let it go. I am 40, and I have decided to live from my heart. How are you going to live?